Okay, so OpenAI have just released Agent Builder, and everyone is losing their minds saying it's the greatest thing since fire has been invented. I've been using it for the last couple of days, and the truth is, it kind of sucks. There is no way that I would use this in a real-world application or deploy this for any one of my clients. It looks like they've been rushing towards a deadline and they just haven't been able to create something good enough, but they've just pushed out anyway. When we go through it, I'm going to go through it in a minute with you, you're going to see that it's got some like real potential. The underlying basics of how it's going to work are good, mainly because they've just stolen those principles from NA10, but that's fine. But there are so many things we just let it down or just don't make sense or just mean that like it just straight up doesn't work. So I'm going to try not to rant in this video. I'm going to try and go through it more, methodically and saying what's good, what's not good, and what will be useful when they do improve it. But yeah, we're going to see how ranty I get. Okay, so here we are within Agent Builder within OpenAI. And you can see here, this is like a brand new tool. And you would think that for a brand new tool, you want to show off how great it is, what the potential is. You want to show like the greatest things it can do. So you do that with the templates, right? You see there's a lot of other tools. They launch great templates to begin with so you can understand how it works. They've released 6 templates for their brand new tool. And none of these templates, first of all, none of these templates do anything that we couldn't already do before. None of them do anything which is actually that useful. You could very easily build this probably within like a GPT within OpenAI, or definitely within something like NA10. But not only are these templates not that like useful, but they don't work, right? So if we look at the customer service one, let's bring this one up, right? This is like, it's not even half built. We're going to see, as we're going to go through in a second, but it essentially can do three things. It can help someone return an item, can help someone cancel a subscription, or help someone get information about this business that they're talking about. However, none of these flows are completed. So if we try and cancel something, or if we try and get information, these don't do anything here. But if we do try and return an item, then it also goes through one more step, but doesn't actually do anything. Let's have a look at it, right? So if I go, hi, I want to cancel my subscription and send that off. There are some useful things. So the jailbreaking guardrail and all the other things within the guardrail node is interesting. So let's have a look at it here. I'm sorry to hear that you're considering canceling. Could you tell me which service plan and what you're satisfied about? So let's say silver plan, and I don't have any service. I think this is like a phone, like for phones and like telecoms. So if I say this, it's going to classify it, and let's see what's going to happen. Like nothing really. So right now it's having a conversation, but there's no outcome, right? They haven't built anything into here to actually do anything. However, if we reset this, open the preview again, and say my phone is broken. Oh God, I can't type today. Broken. Can I have a replacement? Send that off. It's going to go down the top route as it classifies it as a return. And it's going to give us an approval. Does this work for you? And again, it doesn't look fantastic. And I thought to begin with, this was just because it's in the preview. However, I'll show you a little bit later. I've deployed this on a website, and it still looks like it has all these steps in it, which you just wouldn't want if you're deploying something for real. It doesn't make any sense at all. The user approval, does this work for you? Approve, and then nothing happens, right? And it says at the end here, nice little note here, add specific behavior. So kind of like, here's a template, but you finish it. Which, if you're trying to show off how great something is, surely like you build in more functionality to it. And yes, I know if we go over here, we can then like, connect to like the Shopify MCP. Oh, there we go, there's my MCP. And connect to like Shopify and process a return. But the fact that out of the box, these templates don't really do anything is like, it doesn't make any sense at all. You want to show off how great it is, right? If we go to another one, I think it's like the data enricher. This is just like 3 steps. And it's not doing anything interesting at all. Maybe they're trying to like just begin with some easy templates just to start you off and show you how it works. So the first thing that kind of sucks is the templates. Not only do they not have that many templates, the template use cases suck. and the templates like aren't actually doing anything. They're not connected up. You have to finish the template, which kind of like defeats the whole point of a template. Okay, so let's look at the next thing, and it's something I touched upon a little bit earlier. And if I open up this workflow here, this is one I've deployed on a website, which I'll show you. And this is the same one that we looked at, the same template of like returning an item or trying to cancel a subscription. So if I preview this and I say I want to return my item, we can see this going to show us the working. It's going to show us the guardrails. It's going to show us the classification agent. It's going to show us the if else, and it's running through kind of slowly, which is fine because like this is just a preview. This is just testing. Fine. However, if you take this and then deploy it with the code section, and what I've done is I've created a website very simply using Cursor and then put ChatKit in it. If I come over here, forget that I've created a plumbing website, but this is like a chat about phones and stuff like that. Just look at it as like this is what we're using in real life. If I say here, I want to return my phone, and I send this off, now the user interface is very nice. That's a really good point, and that's what gives me kind of like hope that this can be really useful and interesting in the future. However, this is live, right? First of all, it's not that quick, but also, like what's going on? It's showing us classification, return item, showing us thought. This is exactly what a customer would see. And then also, it just doesn't have a step, which is saying, you know, oh, I'm sorry to hear you want to return it, da, 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 da. It just has the reapproval section. So it's just not fully working. And the worst part is it doesn't look like there's any way to turn this off so you can get rid of like the working. And this just sucks, right? You wouldn't want any customer seeing this. Half of this widget here is filled up with like the working. It doesn't even make sense. Like, this is why it's just not ready for production yet. There are glimpses of what's going to make it great, which is I can completely customize what it looks like here. The user interface is like much better than what you can get from NA10 unless you spend ages custom building something. So I do think it's got potential, but like, why? As surely you just need a toggle somewhere. Maybe I'm being a dingus and I've just missed it, but I really don't think so because I've spent time looking at this. You just need a toggle which like turns off the working or the debugging or whatever they want to call it, and then it'll be much more useful. I still wouldn't deploy it because it doesn't properly work, but like it'll be much more useful. Okay, so that's one thing there. The next thing I want to talk about is like a big disappointment, and that is the widgets. So if we have a look at another workflow, let me go over here and we go templates and we go document comparison. Wait for this to load up. So what this does essentially is you can upload two documents and it combines it into one document and then gives you a widget to send it to someone. This is kind of cool, right? An odd use case, like I'm not sure how many people use this, but anyway. However, the main thing here is the widgets. Now, if you don't know what widgets are these really cool things where you can actually embed in the chat. So like if we were on our website here, we can embed one of these things here. So if we did have a plumbing website and the person wanted to book a plumber to come out, then when they've confirmed their booking, it would show one of these and it would say, you know, booking confirmed, Gary's going to come and like mend your pipes or whatever, like tomorrow, right? And you can see it in a nice widget. Lovely. That's really cool. That's not been possible with any other tools previously. I like it. However, it doesn't work. Like this is a big drawback. The only part that does work at the moment is the ones where it's just visual, and there's no interactability with it. However, these are only really useful when they're interactive. So let's have a look at it in action, right? So if I come over to here and I go preview, we can follow the steps here. And it says upload two documents. So I'm going to do that. These two here, these are two lease agreements, and it's going to try and find the differences between them. And again, if you work through this template, I don't know if it's just a bad example they've chosen or they haven't given the instructions properly, but like it doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, let's forget about that. So this is like taken these two documents here and combined it into one, essentially. I'm going to approve it. We can see here, this is looking nice, right? Besides all of this, like the testing parts here, this is looking nice. I like this. We're going to approve it, and then we're going to get our widget. Now, give it a couple of seconds. It's not the quickest either, but you know, I think that's a fairly easy thing for them to solve, hopefully. Here we go. We can see a load of working out, which is fine. And here we get a nice widget, which is really cool. If you can imagine this embedded on a website or on like a chat widget like this is really cool, right? This makes the usability a lot better, right? It's a lot easier to use. It looks slicker. and like the way I can go in here and just like edit something is really cool. However, when I go send email, nothing happens. And this isn't just because they haven't finished this workflow, which they haven't finished this workflow, but there is no way to use these buttons here to do something useful. There's no way to continue a flow within Agent Builder using these buttons here, which really like defeats the entire point. If we go over to the widget builder, which is where you can build these, and we come over to, let's click on this one, we can see here that, where is it? Let me have a look. Okay, yeah, on click action, type order view details. Currently, there's no way to connect these to an actual action that's going to happen within Agent Builder, which seems like a massive oversight. Surely that's the whole point of the widget, and they just haven't built it, or they haven't made it, it's hidden if they have put it in there. So we can click on this and we can go widget, but there's no section where it's like, okay, what do we do with the output of the widget? So currently, if you come across a widget when you are, building out a flow within our preview, it's gone. You can't continue, which sucks, right? It just defeats the entire point. So widgets, apart from if you just want to show information, like you may want to do if it was just like the weather, they don't work at the moment, which is exactly why I say it's not fit for use. I will not be using this at the moment for any clients. I will not be using it for any live cases. I think it's got real potential because there are a few things here, such as, if I go back to another example, there are a few things which are really interesting. If I go over here and click on this customer service one, the guardrails node is very interesting. I've not seen it used before, like in other software that do similar things. And it looks like it's a really great way to be able to define what sort of data people feed into your chat agent, your little model, whatever you're putting on your website. It's really cool. However, because everything else doesn't work, we can't use it, right? Also the same that the file search within here has like an essentially RAG, but it's all within the OpenAI like ecosystem, which means it's very nice and easy to upload documents, and like you don't have to like play around with a lot of stuff to get that to work. That's kind of cool. The way that it handles variables, I think, is like better than other tools like N8N, but like it's just not fit for use. Like hopefully, and I really hope that like in like a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, who knows, they make some updates to it and it works. But at the moment, it's just not fit for use. And like anyone that's creating videos saying like, oh, this is amazing, they just obviously haven't actually tried using it for a real use case scenario, because like it's, not only does it not work fully, but it's way behind the usability of other things if you actually want to build something which genuinely provides value to people. All right, that's it for this video. I'm going to try and stop ranting. I was really excited to try this out, and then it turns out it's just a big flop at the moment. But I've got faith in OpenAI. I've got faith in the guys over there that they're going to build something which is cool, and hopefully this doesn't go the same way as custom GPTs. And I can't remember where, was the App Store. That was what it was like a couple of years ago. Now they brought out new apps, but originally there was the App Store, which then died, and then GPTs, which have like not really done much. Hopefully this doesn't follow the same path of being like something that looks cool and something that they could rave about, but then doesn't actually do anything. But I guess we'll see. But the bottom line is, it looks kind of cool, but it's not fit for use at the moment. Now, if you are serious about implementing AI within your business or helping other businesses to implement AI, then I do have my community. I'll leave a link in the description below to a load of resources that I've got, but this is my main one. If you want to learn anything about AI, how to actually apply it to businesses to get results for that business, so improve profitability or improve growth, then I've got a load of video courses here. Got the community where I share a load of things every single day about all of the new things which are happening in the world of AI. Check it out in the link in the description below. That is it from this video. Hope you have found it useful insight into, how Agent Builder is currently working. Hopefully it improves. Please like, please subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.